Hey, Coach, this is the third straight time the Timbers have won a regular season game here. Overall, it's the sixth straight time that the road team has won in this rivalry. What do you make of that? Obviously, it's not what we're used to seeing in terms of home field advantage.
Couldn't tell you, Jeremiah. I mean, games manifest themselves. Maybe the two clubs are close and home field doesn't matter as much. This year it was different. It was different down there. It was different up here without the crowd. I don't know. It certainly is a interesting trend. We'd like to buck that trend, but it is what it is.
Nico Moreno.
Coach, it seemed that at the end of the first half, you Sounders had control of most of the game, of that part of the game. What didn't go right in the second half, and did you feel like your substitutions had the effect you wanted in the game?
So when we started the game in the second half, I didn't think we started well. There were a couple of moments I wasn't happy with. As far as the substitution pattern was concerned, it's normally I'm pretty conservative. We switched out of our normal 4-2-3-1 to bring Will on the field because we were at home, so to speak, in parentheses. And I wanted to push the tempo. I wanted to see what Will and Raul looked like. And when we did that and we pushed Nico back aligned with JP, you have your two designated players back there. It changes things subtly. But I thought they got a little bit of a control in the middle part of the field. And then, the rest of the substitutions were just, trying to get fresh legs on the field. It's been a hectic schedule. And, those substitutions were made out of necessity after they scored the second goal.
Jada Evans.
Coach, wanted to ask a little bit about the second goal or just conceding a late goal. Is there reason to be concerned seeing how you've had that happen twice now, back to back?
Yeah, I mean, look, we as coaches are concerned about that. I think both goals, if you're going to talk about the opposing teams and the rivalry and the 109th meeting and all that, they're going to say those were two great goals. I'm going to say that, those were not our best defensive moments in this season. I think we could have done better on both goals. So it just depends on who you ask. Again, that second goal certainly was a bit of a dagger. How it all kind of played out. They got the ball in the middle part of the field, where our guys were flat-footed on the entry pass. Credit to the Timbers, but, we'll work on that to make sure we're a little bit stronger defensively.
Felipe Maqueda. Felipe, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Coach, so far in this kind of format, in this tournament, so what aspect do you prioritize, the mental aspect or the physical aspect in the players, or you look a balance between those two?
Well, we've been trying to balance it. I mean, obviously we made some changes for Real Salt Lake. We came back to, more of a standard starting lineup. It's a combination of both. I mean, I think this team is very strong mentally. The results are hard to take. Certainly there's a bunch of disappointed people in that locker room, but we'll bounce back. I have confidence that the team will bounce back. We will do the same physical recovery that we did, in the preparation for this game. There's enough days there. There's 3 days in between games, and we'll be ready for next Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, guys, any last questions for Coach Schmetzer? Give it the last couple seconds here for any hands. If not, we'll cut them loose. Nico, why don't you we got a couple more here. Nico, go ahead.
Hey, Brian, I just wanted to get your overall assessment on how your back line, your defensive line did today, and maybe some mishaps that seem unusual in the back.
Well, look, games like this are challenging to write about, to think about, to assess, because look, you look at the 2 goals, and I might say those were goals that are uncharacteristic of a good sounder defensive team. But the other half of the equation, the thing that we have to also discuss is if we do enough in the attacking half of the field, because look, sometimes your defense is not going to have a good night. And so you have to have the other guys that are playing in front of them do the job in the attacking half of the field. I thought we could have done a little bit better in the attacking half of the field to put Portland under a little bit more pressure. The sub that I made with Will, was that going to change the game? Was that going to put them under more pressure? Did that work? We'll look at the film and we'll watch it. Was Jordan and JJ on that side of the field, were they as cohesive as they should be? Just 2 super talented players. So we'll look at all that, Nico. It's a fair question to ask. But I think the defense, gave up a couple of goals that normally they wouldn't.
All right, Maz, looks like you might be our final question here. Masvidal, go ahead.
All right, I'll try to make it a good one. Hey, Coach, going back on guys being flat-footed, is that heavy legs, mental breakdown, or just kind of lack of game recognition on the play?
I just think they got caught flat-footed. I think, that whole sequence of the first goal, there was the offside, how they get into our attacking third, number 1, and then the little give and go around, 4 of our players, just got a little flat-footed. And then the same thing with the second goal, the 2 center backs were caught flat-footed a little bit. And, is it mental fatigue? Is it physical fatigue? Again, Maz, that is a good question. We'll certainly digest that, and we'll try and figure it out and make sure that the guys get the proper rest and they understand their responsibilities in those moments.